Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Tuesday the 23rd of January 2024, and we have 51 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 393. But starting with the most recent event, which happened 2 years ago in 2022. Mutinying Burkina-based soldiers, led by Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba, depose and detain President Roch Marc Christian Kabore amid widespread anti-government protests. 6 years ago in 2018, a 7.9 magnitude earthquake occurs in the Gulf of Alaska. It is tied as the 6th largest earthquake ever recorded in the United States, but there are no reports of significant damage or fatalities. In the same year, a double car bombing in Benghazi, Libya, kills at least 33 people and wounds dozens of others. The victims include both military personnel and civilians, according to local officials. Also in the same year, the China-United States trade war begins when President Donald Trump places tariffs on Chinese solar panels and washing machines. 21 years ago in 2003, a very weak signal from Pioneer 10 is detected for the last time, but no usable data can be extracted. 22 years ago in 2002, US journalist Daniel Pearl is kidnapped in Karachi, Pakistan, and subsequently murdered. 23 years ago in 2001, 5 people attempt to set themselves on fire in Beijing's Tiananmen Square, an act that many people later claim is staged by the Chinese Communist Party to frame Falun Gong and thus escalate their persecution. "26 years ago in 1998, Netscape announces Mozilla with the intention to release communicator code as open source. 27 years ago in 1997, Madeleine Albright becomes the first woman to serve as United States Secretary of State. 37 years ago in 1987, Mohammed Said Hersey Morgan sent a letter of death to Somali President Said Barre, proposing the genocide of the Ishaq people. 38 years ago in 1986, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducts its first members: Little Richard, Chuck Berry, James Brown, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Fats Domino, the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Elvis Presley. 42 years ago in 1982, World Airways Flight 30 overshoots the runway at Logan International Airport in Boston, Massachusetts, and crashes into Boston Harbor. 2 people are missing and presumed dead. 56 years ago in 1968, USS Pueblo, AGER-2, is attacked and seized by the Korean People's Navy. 57 years ago in 1967, diplomatic relations between the Soviet Union and Ivory Coast are established. In the same year, Milton Keynes, England, is founded as a new town by order in council, with a planning brief to become a city of 250,000 people. Its initial designated area enclosed 3 existing towns and 21 villagers. The area to be developed was largely farmland, with evidence of continuous settlement dating back to the Bronze Age. 60 years ago, in 1964, the 24th Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibiting the use of poll taxes in national elections is ratified. 61 years ago, in 1963, the Guinea-Bissau War of Independence officially begins when PAIGC guerrilla fighters attack the Portuguese army stationed in Titi. 64 years ago, in 1960, the Bafuscaf USS Trieste breaks a depth record by descending to 10,911 meters, or 35,797 feet, in the Pacific Ocean. 66 years ago, in 1958, after a general uprising and rioting in the streets, President Marcos Pérez Jiménez leaves Venezuela. 67 years ago, in 1957, American inventor Walter Frederick Morrison sells the rights to his flying disc to the Wham-O Toy Company, which later renames it the Frisbee. 74 years ago, in 1950, the Knesset resolves that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. 79 years ago, in 1945, in World War II, German Admiral Karl Donitz launches Operation Hannibal. 81 years ago, in 1943, also in World War II, troops of the British 8th Army capture Tripoli in Libya from the German-Italian Panzer Army. 82 years ago, in 1942, again in World War II, the Battle of Rabaul commences Japan's invasion of Australia's territory of New Guinea. 83 years ago, in 1941, Charles Lindbergh testifies before the US Congress and recommends that the United States negotiate a neutrality pact with Adolf Hitler. 87 years ago, in 1937, the trial of the anti-Soviet Trotskyist Center sees 17 mid-level communists accused of sympathizing with Leon Trotsky and plotting to overthrow Joseph Stalin's regime. 104 years ago, in 1920, the Netherlands refuses to surrender the exiled Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany to the Allies. 105 years ago, in 1919, the first regional congress of peasants, workers and insurgents is held by the Maknovщina at Velinkom I Khalevka. Apologies. 112 years ago, in 1912, the International Opium Convention is signed at The Hague. 115 years ago, in 1909, RMS Republic, a passenger ship of the White Star Line, becomes the first ship to use the CQD distress signal after colliding with another ship, the SS Florida, off the Massachusetts coastline, an event that kills 6 people. The Republic sinks the next day. "120 years ago, in 1904, in the Aalesund fire, the Norwegian coastal town Aalesund is devastated by fire, leaving 10,000 people homeless and 1 person dead. Kaiser Wilhelm II funds the rebuilding of the town in Jugendstil style. 124 years ago, in 1900, in the Second Boer War, the Battle of Spion Kop between the forces of the South African Republic and the Orange Free State and British forces ends in a British defeat. 125 years ago in 1899, the Malolos Constitution is inaugurated, establishing the first Philippine Republic. Emilio Aguinaldo is sworn in as its first president. 145 years ago in 1879, in the Anglo-Zulu War, the Battle of Rorke's Drift ends. 154 years ago in 1870, in Montana, US cavalrymen kill 173 Native Americans, mostly women and children, in what becomes known as the Marias Massacre. 175 years ago in 1849, Elizabeth Blackwell is awarded her MD by the Geneva Medical College of Geneva, New York, becoming the United States' first female doctor. 178 years ago in 1846, slavery in Tunisia is abolished. 229 years ago in 1795, after an extraordinary charge across the frozen Zuiderzee, the French cavalry captured 14 Dutch ships and 850 guns in a rare occurrence of a battle between ships and cavalry. 231 years ago in 1793, the second partition of Poland. 235 years ago in 1789, Georgetown College, the first Catholic university in the United States, is founded in Georgetown, Maryland, now a part of Washington, D.C., when Bishop John Carroll, Reverend Robert Molyneux, and Reverend John Ashton purchased land for the proposed academy for the education of youth. "305 years ago in 1719, the Principality of Liechtenstein is created within the Holy Roman Empire. 368 years ago in 1656, Blaise Pascal publishes the first of his Lettres Provinciales. 445 years ago in 1579, the Union of Utrecht forms a Protestant republic in the Netherlands. 453 years ago in 1571, the Royal Exchange opens in London. 454 years ago in 1570, James Stuart, 1st Earl of Moray, regent for the infant King James VI of Scotland, is assassinated by a firearm, the first recorded instance of such. 468 years ago in 1556, the deadliest earthquake in history, the Shanxi earthquake, hits Shanxi province, China. The death toll may have been as high as 830,000. 478 years ago in 1546, having published nothing for 11 years, Francois Rabelais publishes his Tir Livre, his sequel to Gargantua and Pantagruel. 656 years ago in 1368, Zhu Yanzhang proclaims himself the Hongwu Emperor, beginning the Ming dynasty. 760 years ago, in the year 1264, in the conflict between Henry III of England and his rebellious barons led by Simon de Montfort, King Louis IX of France issues the Mise of Amiens, a one-sided decision in favour of Henry that later leads to the Second Barons' War. "1,053 years ago, in the year 971, using crossbows, Song dynasty troops soundly defeat a war elephant corps of the southern Han at Shao. 1631 years ago in 393, Roman Emperor Theodosius I proclaims his 8-year-old son Honorius co-emperor. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.